Good morning, children. So, yesterday we have studied, or yesterday we have gone through the topics, that is symbols, right? What are symbols? Symbols are the abbreviation of an element, right? The symbolic representation of an element is called symbols. And how at the earlier time, how an element was symbolized, how we have given symbols for the elements known at that time by pictorial representation, right? For hydrogen we were giving for oxygen we were giving circle symbol, and for hydrogen we were giving circle with a dot symbol, right? And later studies proved that it is difficult to provide pictorial representation for all the future discovering elements, right? So after so many studies, John Jacob Berzelius proved that, or he suggested that, it is easy to provide the first letter of the element, first letter of their English name or their Latin name can be taken as the symbol for these elements. So like that, he suggested the method like H for hydrogen, O for oxygen, N for nitrogen, etc. And so this technique was taken by the IUPAC. IUPAC means International Union for Pure and Applied Chemistry. So IUPAC have taken that same technique for naming the elements. So they have the IUPAC started to give name for the elements from their first letter of their English name or their Latin name. So if more than one element is having same starting letter, so what they have taken, the second letter also they have taken together. For example, carbon and calcium is having same starting letter C. So for providing their naming, for carbon, since carbon was discovered first, carbon got the symbol C, and the later discovered element calcium, what happened, the second letter A, Ca have taken together. The way used was only the first letter should be capital letter and the remaining second letter should be always small letter. Okay, so after that we have studied the significance of the symbols. What was the significance of the symbol? In page number 3 it is written the significance of symbol. A symbol, for example H, what does that H represent? It will always represent the name of the element. H will represent hydrogen, and when we are looking on that letter we can say it is the one atom of an element, and we can say from that if only one H is represented means it will show the name of the element, the atom of the element, and its mass also it will represent. What will represent? A symbol will represent. So, and today we are going to study the next topic, that is valency. So yesterday I have given a small introduction to valency, and today we will be studying it in detail. So what do you mean by valency? So for that I have taken an example, hydrogen. Okay, last year I told you to study the atomic number of first 20 elements from hydrogen to calcium, right? So the first element is hydrogen. What is the atomic number of hydrogen? Hydrogen's atomic number is 1. And we know that an atom, okay, an atom contains one nucleus and some shells. One nucleus will be there and some shells will be there. Okay, so for hydrogen only one shell is there. We know that for each shell there is naming provided like a K, L, M, N, etc. So for hydrogen, since hydrogen's atomic number is 1, hydrogen have only one shell, that is K shell. So see, since so there is one nucleus, and there is one shell around the nucleus, that is K shell. K shell contain only one electron. Same like our solar system. At the center of the solar system consists of sun, and around the sun there will be planets. How the planets are revolving? Planets are revolving around a fixed path called orbit, right? So same way in our atomic structure there is if we are comparing with the solar system, same way how sun is kept, here the center of the atom consists of nucleus, and how the different planets are revolving around the sun. there is an orbit, right? Same way for an atom also there are some orbit named K, L, M, N, etc. And each orbit, same way how the planets are existing, the orbit consists of electrons, okay? So here hydrogen's nucleus is present at the center, and around the nucleus what is kept? The first shell, K shell, is kept carrying only one electron. So there are different shells like K, L, M, N, etc. Up to N only we have to study. So K shell's maximum capacity, that means K shell will always carry maximum 2 electrons, okay? Then L, M, N will always carry maximum 8 electrons, okay? So if there is no 2 electron in K shell, that means that particular element is not stable in nature. Or if there is no electron in M shell or L shell, whatever it is, if there are if the number of electron is not equal to the maximum number, okay, that means that particular element is not stable in nature. So that elements or that atom's tendency will be always to attain stability. Either they will gain that complete electron, or they will lose that electron. So in this case, here hydrogen have only one electron in its outermost shell. That means hydrogen contain only K shell having one electron, but the K shell's maximum capacity is 2. So what this hydrogen will do? Either it will take one electron and form 2 electrons, or it will remove that one electron and exist with the nucleus alone. So here hydrogen have two options, either to lose one electron or to gain one electron. In both the cases, if it is gaining one electron, means its K shell will become complete 2 electron. If it is losing that electron, means the hydrogen will exist with the single nucleus. Okay. Otherwise, if one more hydrogen is there, okay, with one electron, so both the hydrogens need one electron each, right? So what they will do? They will tell, if you will share your one electron with me, I will also share that. So same way, both the hydrogens will mutually share their electron with each other, so that both the hydrogens will get 2 electrons together. Understand? So for attaining stability, an atom can either lose electron or gain electron or mutually share electron. Okay. So the total number, so in the case of hydrogen, here what hydrogen will do? Either hydrogen will lose one electron, or hydrogen will share one electron, or hydrogen will gain one electron, right? So in this case, hydrogen is, what hydrogen is doing? How many electron hydrogen is losing, gaining, or sharing here? Only one electron. So the total number of electron that an atom can lose, gain, or share during a chemical reaction to attain stability. The main point is to attain stability. Okay. So that is known as valency. What is valency? Valency is defined as the total number of electron that an atom can lose, gain, or share during a chemical reaction to attain stability. That is called valency. So here I have written that there are many shells for every element, so that electron will revolve around the nucleus like planets are in the solar system. Same thing I explained now. Okay, you can prepare this as write the same thing in your notebook also. Okay, so hydrogen, in that diagram you saw that hydrogen have only K shell. The K shell will always carry 2 electron. I mentioned above, right? So here there is only one electron in hydrogen. So what hydrogen will do? Hydrogen can either lose one electron or either and exist only with the nucleus. So if hydrogen is removing that electron, means it will exist with the nucleus alone. Otherwise, hydrogen can gain one electron and exist with a complete 2 electron. Or what it can do? It can share that one electron. So 3 conditions that hydrogen can do. Any one thing only it will do at a time. Understand? So the next condition or the next example I am showing you for valency is sodium. So next, sodium's atomic number is 11. Sodium's atomic number is 11. So there are 3 shell, K, L, M shell. So how electron will be distributed? Total 11 electrons are only there. We know that K shell will always carry maximum 2 electrons. So 2 electrons are filled in K shell. Then L shell will always carry 8 electrons. So 8 electrons are filled. So 8 plus 2, 10. Remaining 1 more electron is needed because 11 electrons are there. So that 1 electron will be kept in M shell. So we know that the maximum capacity of M shell is how much? The M shell's maximum capacity is 8. But here M is carrying only 1 electron. That means the M shell require or sodium require 7 more electron to attain stability. Okay. So it is very difficult. See, it is very difficult to gain a large number of electron. Okay, for an atom, it is very difficult to gain large number of electron. So what here sodium will do? It is easy to lose that 1 electron. So what this sodium will do? It will lose this 1 electron. That means it will completely remove the M shell and exist with the K shell and L shell. That means 2 and 8. Now it is stable now. So the sodium will only lose electron. That means sodium will completely remove the M shell. Understand? That means here sodium is only removing 1 electron. That means sodium's valency is how much? 1, because sodium is removing 1 electron. The total number of electron that an atom can lose or gain or share to attain stability. So here sodium is only losing 1 electron. The valency of sodium is always 1. Okay. Then next I am showing an example carbon. Okay. Carbon's atomic number is 6. That means its electronic configuration will be 2, 4. That means K shell and L shell only. So L shell is carrying 4 electron. So it need how many electron to attain stability? It want total 8 electron. But here only 4 electrons are there. So what carbon will do? Carbon wanted to get 4 more electron. Right. So how what it will do? It will lose 4 electron or gain 4 electron. Both are same number, no? Both are 4 and 4 only. So it is difficult to gain electron and it is very difficult to lose electron also. So what carbon will do is, carbon will always share 4 electron with other atoms. Understand? That means if 4 hydrogens are there, each hydrogen need only 1 electron, right? Each hydrogen are only 1 electron because hydrogen's atomic number is 1. All hydrogen need 1 more electron, right? 2 electron is needed, no? K shell need 2 electron. So what they will do? Carbon need 4 more electron. So here 4 hydrogens are around. So what they will do? They will share their 1 electron with each other like this way. Okay. So as a result, what will happen? Now hydrogen have 2 electron. All hydrogen is having 2 electron. Same way, carbon is having 2 here, 2 here, 2 here and 2 here. Total 2, 4, 6, 8. Total 8 electrons are there for carbon also. So now carbon is also stable, hydrogen is also stable. How they attained stability? By mutual sharing of electron. So in this case, carbon have shared how many electrons with that hydrogen? Carbon shared its 4 electron, right? Carbon shared its 4 electron with, here 1 more electron is there, it's 4 electron with hydrogen. So the valency of carbon will be always 4. Understand? So this is valency. Okay. So definition for valency is, you have studied up to 8th standard. The valency's definition was combining capacity of an element. So that definition you should not write in 9th standard onwards in exams. Okay. If you are writing in exam, you will not get any mark because that is a simple definition. Okay. So you are now from 9th onwards you are going to attend board exam. So you have to write the proper definition for valency. So what is the proper definition of valency? The total number of electron that an atom will lose, gain or share during a chemical reaction to attain stability is called valency. What is valency? The total number of electron that an atom will lose, gain or share during a chemical reaction. Okay. Then next, here the same topic what I have explained is mentioned in your textbook page number 3. Okay. An atom contains electron, proton and neutron. See here I have explained one more structure, an atom. Okay, an atom contains three sub-atoms in it. That means substructures in an atom. That is proton, electron and neutron. So what is their charge? The charge of proton will be always positive charge and the charge of electron will be always negative charge and the charge of neutron is always no charge. That means neutron is always neutral, does not contain any charge. This same topic we will study in our chapter 5 atomic structure. Okay. Then where this proton, electron and neutrons are found? Proton is found inside the nucleus. I told that an atom contains a center nucleus, right? So inside the nucleus what all things are present? Proton is present as well as neutron is also present. Neutron and protons are present inside the nucleus. And where are the electrons present? Electrons are present outside the nucleus in different orbit. Understand? Called shell, like the planets around the sun. Okay. So this is the structure of an atom. An atom contains three parts, that is proton, electron and neutron. Proton have always positive charge, electron have always negative charge and neutron does not contain any charge. So you see here an atom contains electron, proton and neutron. Each electron have one unit negative charge, each proton has one unit positive charge. That I told, the electron have negative charge and proton have positive charge. Neutron have no electric charge, that means neutron is neutral. So every atom normally contains an equal number of electron and proton. That means if there is 10 positive charge, okay, then there will be 10 negative charge also. That means equal and opposite charge will be always present in an atom. Okay, so that which will balance the charge in the atom and make an atom electrically neutral. So when two opposite charges are present, means they will always become neutral. Okay, if one or more electrons are either removed, so you think that, okay, you think that if you are giving one, if a small child, okay, if a small child who is starving, okay, a small child who is starving or he or she is not getting any food to eat, okay, and if you are giving a part of your food to that child, what you will feel? You will get a positive charge, you will get a positive energy, right? Same way, if an atom, okay, if an atom is present, if this atom is giving one electron to some another atom who is in a need of an atom to attain stability, okay, for example, here hydrogen is present. This hydrogen need one more electron to attain stability. Okay, so this hydrogen is in a need of electron. Same way, sodium's outermost shell contain only one electron. It want to gain 7 electron. So it is difficult to gain that 7 electron. But what the sodium can do? Sodium can remove that 1 electron or give that 1 electron to some another atom. So here hydrogen is in a need of 1 electron. So when this sodium will give its 1 electron to hydrogen, that time what it will get? It will get a positive charge. So when an atom is giving or losing an electron, it will get a positive charge. Understand? Then if it is gaining an electron, what will happen? If it is taking an electron, what will happen? It will get a negative charge. Understand? So if an atom is losing electron, it will get a positive charge, and if an atom is gaining electron, it will get always a negative charge. Okay. So if one or more electrons are removed from an atom or added to an atom, then the atom has either less number of electrons that normal or than normal or more number of electron than normal, and it gets an overall electric charge. Understand? So when an atom is removing an electron, when an atom is gaining an electron compared to its actual number, okay, compared to its actual atomic number, if an atom is gaining an electron or losing an electron to attain stability, they will get either a positive charge or they will get either a negative charge. So when an atom is getting a charge, then it will not be an atom anymore. It will convert to an ion. What is an ion? Ion is a positively or negatively charged atom. Understand how they are getting that charge? By losing and gaining of electron. What is an ion? Ion is a positively or negatively charged atom which is formed by losing or gaining of electron. Okay, see this example. Here sodium, as we have studied before, sodium's electronic configuration is 281. So when this sodium have to attain stability, what it will do? Either it have to gain 7 electron or it have to lose 1 electron. So it is very difficult to gain a large number of electrons. So what sodium will do here? Sodium will lose its 1 electron. So when an atom, losing means subtracting or removing. Removing means decreasing in number. That means subtraction. So for removal we will put the symbol minus symbol. So when a sodium is removing, how many electron it is removing? Only 1 electron. So Na minus, electron we will represent with E minus. Okay. If it is 1 electron means we will represent only symbol E minus. Okay. If you are putting 1 also, it is correct. So Na minus 1 electron, removing or subtracted 1 electron. So when an atom is losing 1 electron, it will get a positive charge Na plus. So only one positive charge is there. That is why sodium is known as monovalent ion. Understand? Monovalent. Valency, mono means 1. The element containing only one valency, that is monovalent. Okay, same way magnesium. Magnesium's electronic configuration is 282. That means it contains 2 electron in the last shell. How much electron it need more? Total 8 electron is needed. Only 2 electron is present. Remaining 6 more electron is required. It is difficult to gain 6 electron, but it is easy to lose 2 electron. So what magnesium will do? Magnesium is removing 2 electron. So for removing electron, we will put a subtraction symbol. So Mg minus how many electron it is removing? 2 electrons. So Mg minus 2 electron gives a 2 positive charge. If it is losing 1 electron, it will get a 1 positive charge, Na plus. If it is losing 2 electron, it will get a 2 positive charge, Mg 2 plus. Understand? So 2 positive charge is there, so that it is known as divalent ion, okay, or divalent atom. Understand? So what is an ion? Ion means the atom containing positive or negative charge. Okay. Then, so same thing I have explained here about the charge also. Then we know that there are 2 types of ions are there, positive ion or negative ion. So how an atom will get a negative charge? By gaining electron. For example, chlorine. Okay, chlorine's electronic configuration is 2, atomic number is 17. Okay, so its electronic configuration will be 287, KLM, 287. So chlorine's outermost shell contains a total 7 electron. How many electron is needed to attain stability? 8 electron is needed. Here only 7 electron is present. So what chlorine need? Either it have to lose 7 electron or it want to gain 1 electron. So which is easy? Gaining 1 electron is easy. So chlorine will add 1 electron. Addition symbol we have to put. Gaining means addition. So chlorine is gaining we will put a plus symbol. Gaining how many electron? 1 electron. So when an atom is gaining electron, which charge it will get? It will get a negative charge. It will get a Cl minus 1. Okay, Cl minus 1, chlorine negative charge. So these are known as ions. Okay, ions are a positively or negatively charged atoms formed by losing and gaining of electrons. Okay, then these charged see here, positive ions are known as cations. We have studied in our 8th standard about cation and anions, right? So what are cations? Cations, see, cations, T symbol, no? ions, cations. Cations are always positive charge. Then what about anions? Anions will be negative charge. Okay, cations means positively charged ions are known as cations and negatively charged ions are known as anions. Okay, then elements, this note we will this note just I am reading now. In our chapter 5 we will study it in detail. Okay, element with 1, 2 or 3 electron in their outermost shell. So if only one electron is present like sodium, what it will do? It will always lose electron. It is difficult to gain 7 electron. If only 2 electron is present like magnesium, it is difficult to gain 6 electron, but it is easy to lose 2 electron. So, and another example 3 for aluminum. Aluminum have 3 electron in outermost shell. So, it is easy to lose 3 electron, but it is difficult to gain 5 electron. So, these 3 elements, so the elements having or the atom having 1, 2 or 3 electron in their last shell, they will always lose electron. The atoms which are always losing electron are known as metals. Okay, metals. Which all metals you are taking? Sodium is a metal, aluminum is a metal, magnesium is a metal, calcium is a metal, iron is a metal. Okay, or copper is a metal, gold is a metal. So all metals. Why they are known as metals? Because their outermost shell contains only either 1, 2 or 3 electrons, so that they will always lose electron to attain stability. So the atoms which are always losing electron to attain stability are known as metals. Okay, clear? Then the another elements, the elements having more than 3 electrons are always non-metals. Okay, up to that, only that logic you have to keep in mind. Remaining in detailed we will study in chapter 5. Okay. Then this also we have studied negatively charged, how they are getting negative charge. Okay, so the valency we will tell how the valency is going. We know that if there is only 1 electron in outermost shell, their valency will be always 1 because they will always lose electron. If there is only 2 electron in outermost shell, they will always lose 2 electrons. So their valency is 2. Then if there is only 3 electron in outermost shell, means they will always lose 3 electron. Why? Because it is difficult to gain 5 electron, but it is easy to lose 3 electron. So their valency is 3. But if they are having outermost shell 4 electron, means what they will do? They will not lose 4 electron or they will not gain 4 electron, because both are equal numbers, right? So what they will do to attain stability? They will always share for attaining stability. But how many electrons they will share? They will share 4 electrons. So the valency will be 4. Okay. Then if there are 5 electrons in outermost shell, means how many more electron is needed? 3 more electrons, because total only 8 electrons. Only 5 is present there. 3 more is needed. That means they will gain 3 electrons. So total number of electrons gaining or losing or sharing is valency. So here it is gaining 3 electrons. So the valency will be 3. And if it has 6 electron in outermost shell, means it needed 2 more electron, right? That means it will gain 2 electrons. So the valency will be 2. And if it has 7 electron, means it need only 1 more electron. So it will gain 1 electron. So the valency will be 1. And if there are 8 electron, means it is completed, it is stable. So its valency will be 0. So the valency is going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Like this, a valency is going. Okay. So here one definition of valency is given in page number 4. One definition for valency is given. Don't want to by heart all the definitions. One definition I have already explained that definition is enough. This definition you don't want to study. Okay, one definition is enough. Okay. Okay, so all of you read your textbook. Tomorrow we will study how an atom will share electron. Okay. Thank you all of you. Take care.